It's Norma Alejandra, and I am 31, located in San Francisco, California. I'm originally from Texas, but I've been here for 9 years. And my sobriety date is May 12th of 2019. So I just turned a year.
Congratulations. Obviously, you're very happy about it.
Yes.
So definitely not an easy one, but how would you tell somebody else why you decided to get sober?
Ooh, this has taken me many months of breaking down things and coming to terms that alcohol does not serve any purpose in my life, and I just decided not to have it anymore.
And what's the response been like when you tell someone that?
At first I thought people were going to be like, "Oh my God, why?" or "What happened?" I found it that a lot of people I feel that I was making a bigger deal in my head than what people actually thought. Like, it's been pretty easy. I did lose a few friends because I don't drink anymore and I don't go out to get messed up on mimosas anymore, but it's totally fine.
Right.
I've gained better friends.
Right. Like your friends change, but not necessarily because people are like, "Oh my God, you don't drink and I'm going to like ignore you." It's more like because your priorities have changed, because what you're doing is different, you naturally outgrow those relationships. The people that actually care about you and want to see you do good with your life will just say like, "Awesome.
Yes.
Great.
Exactly.
Good for you."
Yeah. And I reached out to a couple of my drinking buddies and I told them, I really appreciate your friendship. And I know that we had this relationship that just happened at night, going out to parties, going drinking, like going to after parties, but I really want you in my life still. And I hope that we can keep our friendship and it can grow, and we can go to the park, now we can go have a picnic, now we can and I kept a few of those amazing friends, and our relationship just grew even more, and now it's deep. It's not just superficial that it was just the partying friends.
That's really amazing. I think that's something that's important for people to hear. It's like, if you do have those friends that you don't want to lose because you no longer drink, like, it's providing those options of like, this is what I'm still willing to do. Like, I'm willing to go outside and enjoy the day without alcohol. Like,
one of my friends confided in me and he said, "Hey, this was pretty nerve-wracking. I was very nervous because I don't hang out with people during the day. Like, my friends are all partying friends."
Yeah.
So for him to tell me that and tell me that he going to brunch with me was such an amazing experience.
I think when you're put in a position where you realize like, wait, I don't actually know how to socialize without drinking, and like to realize that, I think is a really powerful moment. So what keeps you motivated to continue being alcohol free?
There's so many things that I feel that I am doing with my life thanks to being sober. I tell people that now I'm living a life in full color, because before I was just like a zombie and I wasn't living to my potential. And now I'm doing so much with my life. Like, I wake up really early, I do my Kundalini yoga, then I do my meditations, then I do this, I'm accomplishing so much that I had never accomplished in my years of drinking. And I feel really responsible now with all the decisions that I make. And I'm like early to things. I'm on time now. I'm like, that was a huge thing for me. I was always late for everything. And I realized that the more that I put my mind into something, I can accomplish. And before, I would never finish things. I would start doing something and then a party would get in the way, or a drinking would get in the way, and I would just stop accomplishing things. And now I feel so happy with everything, and that just keeps me going, that I feel like I'm invincible. Or do you get that? It's like,
yeah.
a
Oh,
sense
yeah.
of like, oh my God, I can do anything that I put my mind into it because I'm in my five senses. I'm
Right.
actually living now. And I remember very clearly one time that I was at a party with this friend and she told me, she's like, why can't you just have one? Like, why can't you just, but it really like, and that really hurt me that I felt so ashamed that I couldn't just have one. So, and I relapsed really hardcore that one time, right? That was like 3 months and then I relapsed really bad. But now it's like I'm so proud of being sober that if someone comes up to me and tells me, well, maybe you can have one drink in a few years when you've controlled your drinking, I honestly like, why the F would I ever want to go back to drinking and putting that poison in my body when I need this body for many more years. I value my body and my life now so much. And I'm like, I don't think I know I'll never go back to putting that substance in my body.
What are some other things that you consider part of your program or like your recovery toolkit? Like,
so definitely podcast. That was huge for me. I don't attend meetings like AA meetings. I'm not part of the program, but I respect it and I value it a lot. But I just follow a lot of different podcasts. Seltzer Squad was like the podcast that I started listening to it, when I first became sober. That like seeing those two badass women talk, like touch so many subjects that I remember those were the things that gave me so much strength, because I used to think like, oh, sobriety is so boring. But then actually seeing and hearing these two badass humans who like have been through so much and just, I love them. I love them so much. Also books. One of the books that really resonated with me at the beginning of my sobriety was My Fair Junkie by Amy Bressner. Oh,
I've heard
it's
good things.
good. It's so good. It's that book just, oof, I connected with it in so many ways.
Right.
Connecting to different people that are in the sober path have been extremely valuable to me. Having you in my life, like my friends, and just being in community has helped me tremendously. Also, having Jody Ventura in our lives as well. Like she does all the mind shift and how she helped me feel so empowered through my sobriety. So those are some tools that I use to just, and the Kundalini as well. I was actually at a bridge club one time and a lady talked about the Kundalini, and I just went home and I quickly got on my computer and looked for a class, and I've been practicing every single day, and that has brought so much peace into my life that I feel that's one of the most valuable tools that I have. Like sobriety comes in all shapes and forms. So what may work for me may not work for you, or may not work for the other person. Or that's why there's so many podcasts, because we can try them all and see which one resonates with us, and then just keep with that one. So that's how I view it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And it sounds like for you, having different modes of, these like different toolkits is like, it's like stuff for your mind, right? Like the literature and reading, and then stuff for you to hear, right? And then with Kundalini and stuff like that, it's
my
like
body
through movement and breath. And so it's a much more like holistic approach that you're addressing various parts of like your body and your spirit.
Exactly. And also, for example, that course that I took with Jody, the Teetotal Creator, that one gave me a lot of tools as well. Like my journaling, I still do journaling every single day after I finish my Kundalini. Like that's like a tool that I learned there in that course, and I brought it to my daily life. standing in front of the mirror and cradling myself and telling me I love and accept myself exactly how I am. That was huge for my sobriety, because sobriety brings you a lot of past shame.
Yes.
And at least for me, it brought me a lot of like coming to peace with who I was and just learning to love and accept those versions of myself that are not who I am now. But that just gave me it brought a lot of things to the surface, right? So saying those words, I love and accept myself exactly how I am. That just every morning, that just gives me like, it's like a mother holding their child, me, my old self holding myself, and just all versions of myself. So all those little things that I learned in that course, those are gold for me.
So one thing I want to ask, because I think I've seen this like on Instagram or like with, different people that I talk to. So in working with the recovery coach, like obviously that's not free. Like that's an investment that you're making. And there's definitely some people who feel like, I don't want to pay for something like that. Especially if like things like AA and like refuge recovery and like other meetings are free. What helped you make that decision to actually, put the money towards a recovery coach?
Yes. I see a lot of value in coaches. There are people that have been trained to make you see a bigger picture. They went to school for that. They took courses. They're professionals in their field. So for me, when I came across this program, it was a bit pricey, but it was so worth it. Like that program changed my life. Yeah. And that program made me it made me work on myself. Yeah. So in my book, oh my goodness, like the money that I spent there, it was money extremely well invested. Yeah. I do follow a lot of accounts that have a lot of like words of affirmations, of a lot of things that I'm like, I feel it. And I make sure to share it with all my friends, and just that keeps me very motivated. And just having my friends, I've made a beautiful sober tribe. I'm very, very excited. I'm very proud of the friends that God has sent into my life now that I am sober, and I'm very lucky that they're sober as well. So we have this thing that we share, and it's very powerful. So just be in communion with them, just being like talking to them, that keeps me in line. Yeah. And it's like, everything that I hear on podcast, or if I see interviews of people that are sober, I just say like, oh, that's awesome. Like if they can do it, like the whole world can do it.
That's something we have to think about too, is like, what are the messages that we're consuming on social media? It becomes a reminder. You have to start second guessing yourself. So you kind of have to curate your space, like your home, like you said, getting rid of the alcohol, what you're listening to, what you're reading online, like all of that. You kind of have to create a space that keeps you feeling positive and not feeling like, oh, I miss those days.
Exactly. And you know what? If there's something that I learned, is to never compare yourself to anyone else. Like we're all living our own life. We're all in our own path. Like don't ever, like I don't, if I see that someone is ahead in their Kundalini practice, right? I say to myself, one day I'll get there, like with happiness and joy. Like, in all honesty, like it's the journey, it's what's that saying? The cliche saying, it's not the destination, but the
journey. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I find inspiration on those accounts, but I stopped comparing myself to people long time ago. I was like, this is me. This is my journey. And everyone looks different.
Yeah. I like that you said that. It's a really good way of like reframing the way that we consume things. So you can see the same post and one person can say like, oh, that bitch, whatever, like that, you know, show off, whatever. And the same post, someone else can say, wow, that's inspirational. I'm going to do the work to get there. And it's like totally different outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're at time. So I just want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you so much. This is great what you're doing. I really appreciate it.